Hello, everyone. My name is Kristen Krambeer, Advocacy Program Coordinator for the ARC of Iowa and its chapters. Thank you for joining us for Let's Chat, where I have short conversations with experts and professionals in their fields on topics that matter to individuals diagnosed with a disability, their caregivers, and our community. I'm joined today by Chris Ackman, Communications and Volunteer Manager for HACAP. Chris, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me and letting me be a part of this.
Yes, absolutely. So let's just jump right in. What is HACAP?
So, HACAP is a community action agency, and there are community action agencies all across the state of Iowa and actually all across the country. So, every county, every portion of our country is served by a community action agency, and we provide programs for low income individuals, individuals with disabilities who are in need of assistance. So, some of our major programs that we do here in Iowa and across the country is energy assistance, which is providing a credit towards some of these utility bill. We have Head Start, which is a free preschool program for families in need. We specifically at HACAP have a food bank that serves the Eastern Iowa area. We also have housing programs and veterans programs as well. So we do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Really kind of like hands in all the cookie jars. So as
Yeah.
far as some of those services go, you touched base on one, and I kind of wanted to two of them in particular that I wanted to kind of go a little bit deeper into. The first one is regarding food in your pantry. We know that food insecurity is a very large issue, not only in our state, but also on a national level. So, as far as food insecurity goes, what are you seeing, and kind of what is that impact to having the food banks and that accessibility for our community?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're seeing the need just continue to rise. Ever since COVID, it hasn't really gotten any better, I guess I would say. Uh, Things are tough, and when families are living paycheck to paycheck, sometimes they got to decide over one thing or another. And unfortunately, food can kind of be in that decision making process. And we don't want people to have to decide whether they can keep their lights on or if they're going to be able to eat that week. So it's a pretty big thing that we try to get as much food out into the community as quickly as possible for these individuals. And especially in Eastern Iowa, there are a lot of rural areas and a lot of urban areas that we serve. And food insecurity looks different in both of those areas. So, one of the big things that we do is we have staff members who drive and pick up food rescue items from grocery stores every day. So, they're going to some of the big places like the Walmarts, Hy-Vees, Fairways, getting a lot of that food that's on the verge of going bad. Our volunteers sort it, quality control check it, and then they send it out to food pantries who can come and pick up. And we have food pantries that come out every day picking up so that hopefully that food doesn't go to waste, number one, but then number two, gets back out into the community as quickly as we can. And that's just something that, we have a great network here of food pantries in Iowa who work together with the food banks to make sure that we are getting food out as much as we can. And that there are different opportunities for people to get food, whether it's a mobile food pantry or just going onto our website to find a food pantry. There's usually the food pantries try not to be open at the same time so that if you don't get to one on one day of the week, you can maybe get to one on the other day of the week. That's pretty helpful as well. And that's just one of the bigger ways that we're trying to get food out to people who really need it.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. We see that insecurity a lot. It's not uncommon for our staff to pick up an individual that they are helping support and go and visit one of those food pantries. So it definitely is a need that we have. The other thing that I wanted to touch base on, and we see this a lot too, can you talk a little bit about the credit program that you have in place to ensure that people can keep their power on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so energy assistance is happening right now. It usually happens from October 1st. People who are elderly or disabled can start applying October 1st. Everybody else November 1st, and it runs through April. And it's designed specifically for that time period because those are typically the winter months, so to speak, here in Iowa. And we want people to be able to keep their heat on during the winter and also be able to budget so that they can afford things like food or gas or whatever, maybe rent. So this is a very good program where people can apply. And if you qualify, you receive a credit off of your utility bills every month. So it depends on your household size, but generally it can be around half of your utility bill that gets covered, which can be, it doesn't sound like a huge amount, but any little bit helps. And it really does help people to not have such a huge burden during the winter months, and then that they don't have to worry that their lights are going to be shut off or that their heat's going to be shut off during the winter. It's just an added little maybe peace of mind and security program that we offer that can help families or individuals budget, knowing that they have that assistance. They can, free up their budget to use it towards something else.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking at HACAP, and you had shared, earlier that there's there's options all over the state. But as far as HACAP goes, what is the service area that you cover?
So we specifically serve East Central Iowa. We serve 9 counties in East Central Iowa. Our three biggest areas that we serve are going to be Cedar Rapids, the Dubuque area, and the Iowa City area, and a lot of the rural areas in between. So Lynn County, Johnson County, Jones County, Benton County, Iowa County, uh, Dubuque, Jackson, Delaware, and probably Washington. I don't know if that was 9 or not. I probably might forget one, but they're definitely all on our website. So yeah, we serve mainly the Dubuque area, Iowa City area, and then the Cedar Rapids area.
Okay. And out of all the things, I have a pretty good idea. But what is the largest challenge that your organization is seeing that is facing Iowans right now?
Well, I think the largest challenge is families are stressed because they're just trying to keep up. And it can be overwhelming. You watch the news and you hear about everything going back and forth, whether it's political, not political. Are we going to have funding? Are we not going to have funding? There's this and that. And from when I started at HACAP maybe 9, 10 years ago, I think compared to now, there's just a lot of information that's just flowing back and forth and changing constantly. So it definitely puts stress on families because they don't know where they fit in that or where they lie in that. And they don't know if these services are still going to be available next year or next month or whatever is going to happen. So I think that's the biggest thing is misinformation on social media can obviously cause a lot of things. There's a lot of people who spread a lot of rumors, and we just don't know where to get valid information from. And so I think that's a just a thing that's adds one more piece to people's plates. But we try to be throughout that kind of the constant where we want to be able to provide services so that these families have one less headache at the end of the day or one less thing that they have to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So definitely just that's one of the biggest things. And a lot of our clients and a lot of the people that we see, food insecurity is not the only major thing that may be going on in their lives. There's a lot of different things that could be going on in somebody's lives, or maybe not. I don't, you don't know. You never know what somebody's going through. But typically, when people come and they receive some of our services, there's a good chance that they could receive other services from other nonprofits that we work with in the community as well. So it's just something that is, like I said, ever since COVID's kind of been more stressful for families. And so they just want answers. They want it to be kind of easy and simple. And unfortunately, sometimes it just isn't that simple.
Yes, absolutely. I always say we are a piece of the nonprofit network. We can do our part, but then we always have a friend somewhere who can also do theirs. So I think that's wonderful. And you make an excellent point with that. We can do what we can do, and if not, we will spread the wealth.
Exactly. It takes a village, which, that quote's been said many times, but especially when it comes to nonprofits, it's absolutely true.
And someone who's never had to utilize HACAP services might not know a lot about HACAP. Why should they care?
Well, I think they should care because a lot of people may think they don't qualify for a service that we provide, and maybe they do. Um, there's kind of a view of, what we serve low income individuals. And, now with inflation and everything, some people may not view themselves as being in that category for whatever reason. But we have so many different services, as I mentioned at the beginning, all the different things that we do that I think people just don't realize how much we do and that they may qualify for it. So certainly looking on our website and seeing all the things that we do and maybe checking to see, hey, maybe I do qualify for weatherization or energy assistance or WIC or something like that. That's something that's pretty key. Is just making sure that, and that goes for other nonprofits too. We have our resources here and we want to help people. So, that's we're always trying to get the word out as much as we can and trying to reach people who we haven't reached before. So that's a big thing is just familiarizing yourself with what we do just by glancing at our website or our Facebook page. And it doesn't hurt to check it out and see that maybe you do qualify for our services and could get some help.
So speaking of services, how would someone go about contacting HACAP to get those services?
Yeah, well, there's a few different ways. We have many different ways that you can get in touch with us. One is certainly by calling us at 319-393-7811 is our main phone number. Or you can go to our website. You can find contact information on our website. We have a get help button on our website that shows all the different programs that we have. And with each of those programs, we try to have a phone number and email for those different programs if you want to check into something very specific. And then the other thing is we do have a chat with one of our staff members on our website as well. And you can also Facebook us, Facebook message us. But if you chat on our website, it's a live human being that you can chat with who actually works here. So many different ways to get involved and reach out.
Well, thank you so much, Chris, for talking to me today. I appreciate it. For those interested in learning more about HACAP, you can visit www.hacap.org. I hope you all have the opportunity to reach your full potential today. I look forward to our next chat.